Hello YouTube, this is Dr. Solar. It's been a while. I had to do a video for you today, and I am going to tell you my experiences over the last couple of days and living off grid. Before I start, I want to show you something. So here's my Victron. Let me see this thing, can focus on it. I'm connected to that charge controller, and I want to show you what happened to me a few days ago. So we had a couple of really bad days. We had here, as you could see, let me touch it and see if it will give me an update. The battery never went into float. It was in absorption for 1 hour and 3 minutes. The next day, the same thing. And you can see my battery voltage, right? I'm showing 46 volts, 2 days in a row. One could be when I pumped water, but there was definitely one day when the system collapsed. And that was the day before, yes. And we dropped all the way to 46 volts, something we had not seen. We normally wake up to 48 point somewhat volts or 49.44 volts. And that was a little distressing to me. So what had happened? Well, it'd been raining and it'd been very cloudy. And during those 2 days where we had constant rain and constant sunshine, constant rain, we were averaging 3.34 and 4.20 kilowatt hours plus whatever we're getting from this charge controller. Considering running a house and not office out of it, it was not enough. So what happened? At night, because the batteries had never gone through a full charge cycle, the batteries suddenly gave way. Now, the setup for this is written up at 48 volts, but once it hits 50 volts, it starts to beep, and it was irritating. So to turn the beep off, we dropped the low battery cutoff to a much lower voltage, which is lower than what is acceptable for lead-acid batteries. But because we never really deep discharged it, we were not concerned. But we had 2 days where we hit those numbers, and for me, that caused some panic. So what do you look out for when you live off grid? When you have 2 days back to back of clouds and your batteries never get fully charged, what I suggest you do is turn your generator on. Unfortunately, I do not have a generator. Or start to turn your loads off. I did not turn the freezer off, it was on through the night, and my fans and lights were on through the night. So of course, it allowed me to deplete the battery below where I wanted it to be. So what did I do? The next day, I ran an equalization charge. And if you look here, you would see yesterday, I don't know if you will see that, if it focuses, yep, you will see that. Yesterday, I hit 60 volts. So these are AGMs. Just take my word for it, I have AGMs, I have 4 of them, long AGMs in there, and I ran an equalization charge, and the next day, the batteries were at 49 volts as my start-off point, even though I ran a freezer and a fridge all through the night. Lead-acid batteries don't like being discharged that deep, one, and number two, if you discharge them, they don't like being in a state of partial charge. They have to be fully charged every day. So what am I going to do to mitigate, to prevent this from happening? Well, when Nigeria's rainy season, the bad months were July, August a little bit, but it's been unusually rainy, or it's not just in Nigeria, the world over. So I'm adding an additional 600 watts in PV to prevent this from happening. So by next week, I'll have an additional 600 watts in PV, and that will keep me at a little under 4 kilowatts. Ultimately, I'm going to have about 5 or 6 kilowatts in PV so that my little battery bank will charge fast. But guess what? I have a big surprise for you. Next week, I am going to install my Nissan Leaf batteries. I have 7 modules that I'm going to configure in 7S, and I'm going to run them off my setup. And I wouldn't have to worry about going through a partial state of charge anymore. So next week after this one, I'll do a video with my new Nissan Leaf batteries, and hopefully you guys will be excited about it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them below. If you've not subscribed, Please subscribe. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. This is Dr. Sola coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria on the last day of August 2018.